Hey guys, Zelonius here. Welcome to another video on the channel. In this video today, we are going to be looking at, in my opinion, the 5 best formations from FIFA 23. And by that, I'm not saying what I would say are the 5 best formations right now. I would say at least 3 of them would be still in the top 5 formations right now. But we're going to be talking a bit about FIFA 23 as a whole, a bit how the meta shifted and changed over the year, and I'll just be giving my general opinion on what I think are the 5 best formations throughout the whole year. The number 1 formation will still be the number 1 right now, so you'll get a bit of insight into what I think is good using now, and I'll just be giving you a bit of general what I think about the game this year. One thing I'm going to look to do over the next week is start to try and get all these different keepers and maybe stream some content where I'm playing with these keepers in my team. They'll be a pretty beastly team in the air, that's for sure. So, the formations we're going to look at. I'm not going to look at them in any particular order, so to speak, but the ones we're going to do are going to be, well, we'll start with number 5. I'm not saying it's necessarily number 5, I'm just going to list 5 formations. The 4-2-2. I used this for the first few months of the year. I think a lot of pros were using this. I'm not going to click it and go into all the tactics in depth, but generally speaking, this formation, the strengths you are getting with the 4-2-2. You get 2 strikers. 2 striker build-up is always generally going to be more effective on FIFA than 1 striker build-up. 4-2-3-1 formations like that in the past have been very good, but on this game, I think having 2 strikers is very good. And one formation that's very dominant this year, that has 3 strikers, we'll get to that, but you can see why the build-up's so important, having the 2 strikers. The 4-2-2 for me is very balanced. The 4-4-2, 4-2-3-1, it's a good hybrid of both and just gets all the strengths out of them. It doesn't have any major weakness, so the 4-2-2 for me, very, very good. I think you can play a bit more defensive in it. I think you can press in it. It's very well rounded. I don't think it would be like the top end of the top 5 in my opinion. Simply put, I think its strengths aren't as profound as some of the others, but it is a great formation nonetheless. The 4th one I'm going to go for, and I don't think it's one that was necessarily embraced a lot, but people who tried it out when I used it and some pros that I saw trying it loved it and thought it was brilliant. The 4-3-3 5th variation. Are you sick of getting out-teamed on FIFA? Want more coins to build that God squad you've always been dreaming of? Check out utnice.com, the best place to buy coins for FIFA 23. They're simple, easy to use. Use code ZEL at checkout for a 5% discount. Check out utnice.com today. Very rare on FIFA that I've ever, and I'm not even exaggerating here, just that I've ever been using this formation or any 4-3-3 really. I think the last time I was using the 4-3-3 was 5 FIFAs ago on FIFA 18. That's how dead the 4-3-3 has been for years. For years, effectively, the 4-3-3 was unusable because the left and right wingers, who should be pretty important in this formation, they just didn't get involved. They just sat on the wing, just didn't do anything, which is pretty poor for a formation. But this year, they cut inside properly when you tell them to. And the way you use the 4-3-3 5th variation, you get your centre mids to bomb forward. They overlap. You have insane amount of options. The build-up's incredible. It's very, very hard for your opponent to defend against. And it just makes for an incredible formation in general. Defensively, it's not the best because the way you have to set it up, it's pretty good if they don't counter-attack quick. It's just very attacking and leaves a lot of men going forward. You still have a flat back 4 though. You still have width for your fullbacks. It's a very good formation. One of the funnest ones I've used this year. And I think when played properly, it was very tough to play against. Very hard to defend against with all the options. The 3rd we are going to go for is the 5-4-1. For me, the 5-4-1, I think on new gen, is the 2nd best formation we've had on FIFA 23. On old gen, I don't think this would even be in the top 5 formations across the year. But on new gen, it was so dominant. I think it was better at a high level. When you started to, I think if you play with it and you're a lower level player, you're probably more likely to still make mistakes, pull players out in the defensive. Yes, this would help a worse player because they can dive in and make more mistakes, still have men to cover. But the issue you would have is it's not the best going forward, so a worse player needs the options to help them going forwards, might not get a lot out of this formation attack, and defensively might not benefit as much as players who are good at the game basically would. Simply put, at a high level, someone who's good at defending is near impossible to break down in this formation, and they're still going to have the patience and build-up ability to make use of it. On old gen, I don't think this formation was good. You couldn't really attack in it. It was useless going forward compared to some of the more fast-paced formation, had a lot of options. And sure, it was good defensively, but most formations on old gen aren't, or just the way the game plays, it's not very defensive. So for me, I don't think it was a top-tier formation on old gen, but on new gen, it was potentially the hardest to play against. I don't think it was the number one across the year, but it was very good. Number two we're going to talk about is the 3-4-2-1. On old gen, I think this formation was insane. I think it was ridiculous, very hard to play against, had so many attacking options. Probably the best old gen formation just in terms of attack. Don't think it was the most well-rounded, so I'm going to say it was the second best old gen formation this year. And I would say it was the third best new gen. So I would swap 5-4-1 with this on new gen in terms of 5-4-1 being slightly better. But because 5-4-1 was so bad on old gen in comparison, I'm putting this as the second best formation this year. You can just look at it and see it's got 3 strikers, 2 wingers, the centre mids. So hard to play against. It's obviously got defensive weaknesses, deficiencies in terms of how many men you've got going forward. Just going to get countered. However, when you put, especially, I think this formation got even better as the year went on, because if you use left and right mids that had good defensive stats, which you didn't really have many options early in the year outside of fullbacks, you were going to be pretty poor defensively. But if they don't counter attack you instantly, and you have wingers who can defend as well, it basically sets up like a 5-back, so it was very hard to break down. The problem was that at the start of the game, you either had to play fullbacks who couldn't really attack, or wingers who couldn't defend. Whereas now, there's so many elite options, it's brilliant, and it could be the best. But the number one formation for me this year, anyone who says anything different to this, in terms of what was the meta for the most part, what people really got the use out of, I think they're talking rubbish, is the 4-3-2-1. Stupidly OP. It sets up like a 4-4-2 the way you defend it. If you type in on YouTube Zelonius 4-3-2-1, you'll be able to see my custom tactics. I explain exactly how you set it up, showing you the instructions for it. This formation was just dumb this year. No other way of putting it. It was incredible. 3 strikers, stupidly hard to defend against. It got width. It's got really good defensive capability, being a 4-4-2 when you defended. Got so much interplay up front. The fullbacks help you defend against counter-attack. You get overlap with one of the fullbacks the way you set this formation up. It was incredible, so hard to play against. Doesn't really have any major weaknesses. I think it's even better on new gen than old gen. I think new gen, the formation probably matters more. I think new gen custom tactic formation matter more than old gen. You just rip people open a bit more on old gen, but this formation was silly. So hard to play against, so dominant with the meta of through balls, pace, overloading people with options. Brilliant formation, and my number one this year. What will be the number one on FIFA? No, it's not FIFA, it's EA Sports Football Club next year. We don't know, but I'll always be here to try help guide you guys and help you. Appreciate you guys watching this video. As always, keep it spicy. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.